So for tonight's video, I dug in the old files of the BitBoy crypto channel when it used to be called BitBoy and HODL. That was the original name of the channel. If you didn't know, and I talk about this a little bit in the video tonight, we will have Fresh 5 for you guys after the intro. I talk about this channel started as the home of a cartoon called BitBoy and HODL. It was basically about a character named BitBoy, which you guys know is my logo, and HODL, his loyal turtle sidekick, as they fought through the crypto space. They fought coins and all kinds of stuff. But unfortunately, it still hasn't happened yet. Still waiting for a good animator. And obviously the channel took a different direction. So you guys know my intro I have every night. He's BitBoy. You guys love that. I can't sing. So this is actually a song recorded by my brother-in-law, and I wrote the intro to the BitBoy and HODL cartoon. So it's been about 8 months since I showed this. We've got a ton of new subscribers since then. So I thought a little of you guys might appreciate the history of the channel. So without further ado, here it is.
When the signal hits the sky, I'll be there on the double. He's the one you need to call when your crypto's in trouble. He's got HODL on his side and a blockchain in his hand. He's always there to stop evil Dr. Flood's plan. He can even save the world's worst Bitcoin junkie from taking bad advice from FOMO, the nervous monkey. He's BitBoy. He's not simple. He's no
To celebrate the 1-year anniversary of the Bit Squad, we are going to be giving away $1,000 in Bitcoin for the months of March and April, along with 2 Nano Ledger S's. An extra $100 prize will be available for those who join the Telegram group. Like and comment on every video in March and April for the maximum number of entries. You must be a subscriber to win. Hey Bit Squad, welcome back to the channel for another Fresh 5 video. Today we're going to be taking a very interesting look at maybe some mischievous acts by one Craig Wright. Not confirmed, but very fishy stuff going on with trying to buy some old Bitcoin wallets. I guess he saw my video from yesterday and is trying to make it seem like he is Satoshi and has those wallets that we talked about. Also, we have France continuing to look bullish as a country for blockchain companies to come to. We'll talk about that. Bitmain failing on its IPO. And is Bitcoin dominance actually much higher than it's currently showing? So before we get into all that, make sure to like and comment on this video to enter our current contest we have going on. Also, if you join my Telegram group, you have a chance at an extra $100. So let's get into it. Market Watch. Market Watch. Okay, Bitcoin has dropped under $4,000 at this point. It is at $3,960 right now. Of course, a lot of the alts have dipped down because of this. Stellar and Tron taking particularly big dives, while some others have managed to recover. Current market cap at $138 billion approximately. Bitcoin dominance at 50.6%, so still pretty low if we can go by what CoinMarketCap says. Now, with Bitcoin flirting around this $4,000 number, to me, it seems as if the psychological barrier of $4,000 has kind of been broken. People aren't freaking out when it drops below 4, and when it does, it's not dropping as hard as it has been recently. So like I said, it dipped earlier. It's already at $3,960. I think there's a good chance by tomorrow it'll be back over 4. It seems as if we're treating $4,000 like it's not a huge significant barrier anymore. At least it has been since November. So let's look at the biggest winners of the day. We have Maximind Coin, BitShares, Wakey Chain, Repo, and KuCoin shares. Then for biggest losers, we have Crypto.com Chain, Digibyte. They must have not liked my podcast I did yesterday for Beards and Bitcoins, where I interviewed Laura from Digibyte, Aurora, Power Ledger, and GX Chain. Number 5. Okay, so I found this on Reddit. Trailer for new animated cryptocurrency show Bitcoin and Friends. I'm going to show a little clip of that to you guys right now.
Hello? Who are you?
I will always be with you.
So for those of you that may not know this, my channel started as an avenue for my animated cartoon series, BitBoy and Hodl. Hodl is a turtle. He's BitBoy's loyal sidekick. BitBoy was a character I created. I wanted to do this. I just couldn't find an animator that was the right price. It is something I still hope to do in the future, but I'm always encouraged when we do see things like this coming into the space. You may not think this is particularly good. My cartoon was going to be a clean cartoon. This one obviously is not going to be, if you go and watch the full, the full cartoon and things like that, or trailer for it. But, I think this is something we need in the space. We need more creativity. We need more of, regular artistic avenues that people have in other spaces like sports, for instance. In sports, there are plenty of animated cartoons about sports. I can't remember what it's called, but it's the Game of Thrones parody involving NBA players. That's really, really, really funny. So, I like that idea of stuff like that coming to cryptocurrency. It kind of, it makes it seem more normal and regular to your average people, and like it's not some giant scam, which obviously a lot of people think it is. Number 4. Okay, so some of the hardest people hit in crypto have been miners, honestly, due to the fact that crypto and Bitcoin no longer seems profitable to mine at the moment. Now, if you're really involved in the mining community, maybe you're finding some ways to continue to press forward. For a lot of people, it's more like a hobby, and they don't necessarily care if it's super profitable or not right now anyways. But one company that has been hit huge has been Bitmain. Bitmain has been really struggling over the last year and a half. Former CEO Yan Wu has been in all kinds of controversy. They named a new CEO recently, if you did not know. And they recently had an application to go public with, with their company. It was going to be one of the largest IPOs ever. However, their application has expired without going through. So it says the world's leading cryptocurrency mining company manufacturer, Bitmain, will let its application to hold an initial public offering expire today. The expiration signals a failure by the company in its first major effort to go public. And, we haven't really seen a lot of Bitmain in the public eye recently. And, I don't think this surprises anyone at this point. When you build an entire market based on mining and all of a sudden the interest level dips and the price dips like we've seen, people look at these mining machines that they may have spent $2,000 on or $3,000 on, whatever the cost may be. And, a lot of people are probably just letting it sit around like junk right now. And certainly people aren't rushing out to buy ant miners like they were at one time. So, I don't know if this is necessarily bad news for crypto, because I think a lot of us feel like Bitmain, was almost trying to centralize Bitcoin in a way. I think at one point it held 41% of all the nodes of Bitcoin. I don't know at the current moment, if that's still the case in their mining pools and things like that. So, this is big news though. Number 3. Okay, we've talked about this a little in the past. We are looking for countries that seem like they will be friendly to blockchain. Now, France has been one of these countries that in the past seemed to have a very rigid approach, but over the last year has really softened up. So now you have Paris Blockchain Week Summit shows French regulatory climate beginning to thaw. So there are supposed to be several people from the French government that are going to be here, and I think France is really looking for a way to become a leader in blockchain. And one way they can do that is reduce the regulatory requirements for blockchain companies to come there. That way, other countries that are being kind of oppressive, if you will, of blockchain, those companies there will move to France. And of course, that would be great for the French economy if crypto is going to become what we think it all will be. So, this is good news for France. And it's good that we have, one of the most important countries in the world, I guess I would say. I don't know if it's top 20 or top 10, whatever it may be. But it is a very important country, and it is leading the charge right now in terms of the most developed countries in trying to get regulation right with crypto. So I do think this is big news. Number 2. Okay, guys, this is a very sketchy story. So Craig Wright to buy old Bitcoin addresses. Apparently, if you watched my video yesterday, let me say this first, about Satoshi's wallet and how many Bitcoins he actually has. We don't really know. There's so many addresses in the beginning of Bitcoin mining that all have 50 Bitcoins exactly. That, I guess, was the mining threshold, whatever the case may be. But I just showed you guys yesterday on my video the top 50 addresses, or the first 50 addresses from Bitcoin mining, and they all had 50 in it. So apparently today, I'm not going to say it's Craig Wright for sure, but someone popped up on the Bitcoin Talk forum and said they were willing to pay $5,000 per address to anyone that had Bitcoin addresses between 2008 and 2010. Right during that window where we believe Satoshi basically mined all the Bitcoins at that point, or almost all of them. Craig Wright also recently deleted his Twitter and all of his tweets. Very sketchy thing going on there, hasn't commented on it. And then all of a sudden, this guy pops up, this random person pops up asking to buy those addresses. And you may say, why? Why would he want to buy them? Well, Craig Wright likes to tell people that he's Satoshi, but he can't prove it. So what he's looking to do is buy. Now, this is all, of course, hypothetical. We don't know for sure this is Craig Wright. But if it were, what he would be trying to do would be to buy those old Bitcoin addresses that are in that window where we believe Satoshi owned them. That way he can say, all right, guys, I'm finally going to move some Bitcoins out of these addresses that have never had Bitcoin moved out of them, and I'm going to prove to you that I'm Satoshi. Now, there would be absolutely no way to prove for 100% sure that that address belonged to Satoshi or whoever the original miner was, which of course we believe was Satoshi. But this will give him more credibility to stake his claim as Satoshi, because right now everybody says, if you're Satoshi, prove it. Just show us your Bitcoins. Do a transaction, a live transaction, so we can see the Bitcoin moving out of these addresses. And obviously he doesn't have access to any of those. So he is trying to get access, or at least it seems like someone is trying to get access. Could be Craig Wright for those purposes. We don't know. Bitcoin Talk deleted the thread almost immediately. People had a lot of, they immediately started assuming that that was Craig Wright. So very interesting. Continues to be super controversial. Maybe even this wasn't him. Maybe even he didn't mean to be controversial and he still is. So, there's something about this guy, it just seems to attract scams or seems to attract attention all the time. And I think that's kind of what he wants. So, almost the more we talk about him, the worse it is because we're giving him what he's seeking. But I thought this was super interesting. The number one crypto story of the day. Okay, guys, now is Bitcoin dominance actually 80%? Is it much higher than we currently believe with CoinMarketCap? Now, CoinMarketCap has a formula they go by to determine the market cap of each individual project. And then when they take all those market caps, combine them and compare it to Bitcoins, that is how we get Bitcoin dominance. But interestingly enough, this may not actually be right. So what this guy is saying, John Paul, he introduces a new metric called volume weighted cap, in this graph, it looks a lot different when mapped with the new metric. The market spread strongly adheres to the power law distribution, where Bitcoin's dominance is much greater. And you can see what that chart looks like right now. Now, what goes into account in figuring this new kind of market cap number or market dominance number? Well, it's liquidity. Basically, he says that a lot of these coins that are getting pumped, that are getting blown up, market caps, they don't actually have the liquidity to back that up. So if you compared, Bitcoin's liquidity to the liquidity of all these altcoins, then you get a number closer to 80%. Now, is this accurate? Is this true? Is this right? I don't know, but it is very interesting. If this is the case, then this is very bad news for the entire altcoin market, in my opinion, because that shows really Bitcoin has a much bigger lead on everybody than anyone could have possibly imagined. And if you compare Ethereum is really the only one that can hold a candle. Everything else combined, as you can see, it is barely more than Ethereum when it comes to using this same kind of process to come up with the market dominance. So we just talked about yesterday about how it's great news that the market cap or the Bitcoin dominance number is getting closer to that 50% line. But if this is the case, then maybe that doesn't even matter. So I don't know, guys. I think Bitcoin has that first mover's advantage. It is way ahead. It's going to continue to be way ahead. But is it this far ahead? I don't know. There's really no way for us to know for 100% at this point. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I thought some pretty interesting stories tonight. Drop me a comment below and let me know, what you think about these stories, if anything really jumped out to you about this. And we'll talk to you later. BitBoy out.